which is what leads us to the story that I'm going to cover, which is Mate Rimac and his company Rimac Automobili. A little bit of Mate's backstory, the hero origin story. He was, as a kid, fascinated with tech, and he grew up in, I think, a very poor part of Bosnia. And during the war, his parents and him went to Germany, and then when the war stopped, they came back. And he had this huge perception shift from where it was like a small village where there were almost no cars, to coming to Germany, which is a very rich country at that time, and everybody had cars and they were modern and new, and he was just fascinated by that. He would like watch all the TV shows about cars, and he could like buy all the magazines that he could get his hands on about cars and bikes and stuff like that. And I think his dad bought him like a bike when he was a kid, and he was driving it around, and then a motorcycle as well, and a bunch of things where he was just enthusiastic about traffic and vehicles, and he couldn't wait to be of age to be able to drive a car.
So that's an interesting distinction, because people call him the Croatian Elon Musk, but it's Musk's motivation was always environmentalism, but with Mate, it sounds like it's an enthusiasm for vehicles and sort of the mechanics of it. Is that right?
Yes. We'll get to the green part of Mate a little bit later, but he's also very environmentally conscious, and he's implementing those concepts in everything. I think one of the most memorable stories from him is the first car that he ever bought is like a BMW E30 M3, something. It's like the very cubed version of it, but it was very popular at that time. And he bought a white colored one, and then he wanted to bring it to drag races and locally organized speed racing tournaments, which are in Croatia fairly small, So everybody knew each other, and everybody knew who had which card, and they were tuned and all of that. So at one point, I think his engine burned, and then he didn't have money to kind of repair it and install a new one or buy a new car. So he kind of tried to figure it out himself, like Tony Stark in a cave comes to mind there. And he kind of made an electric motor. Just to give more reference, he was very good with electronics and robotics in school. And his professor said, you're like really, really good. You should go to competitions. And he went to a competition in Korea and won. So he's a very smart guy. And he did his first electric motor, and it was extremely bad. So he showed up at the competition. People were laughing. It was like he couldn't even race there. Well, he could, but at the end, when all the races were done, then they were like, all right, give this kid a chance, with his EV car. And he lost, of course, a bunch of times, but each time he would take the car back and tune it, upgrade it, increase performance range, until 2011, or even 2010, we actually started beating other cars. And then people were kind of like, what is this actually? Like, no, that's not true. That can't be, like an electric car. That's not possible, right? And he tells stories of, all the jokes that people would tell him, like, what are you doing with that washing machine here on the racetrack? Or people would come up to him like, can I charge my phone on your car? And he talks about that. That's super hilarious. But basically, in 2011, it all changed when he really drove the performance of that old BMW that was now converted into a electric BMW. And he basically beat every other car out there. And in, I think, end of 2011, he broke the Guinness World Record. And he achieved a quarter of a mile in, I have it here, 11.8 seconds. So, oh no, sorry, it was 2012, April 2012. Yeah. So, that was a big step forward. And he kind of there decided like, yeah, this is going in the right direction. He dreamed of having his own company, and he just loved working on cars. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see the full version, go to the Uncle Gold Podcast YouTube channel or watch the next clip.